What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Behind the Strike Zone podcast, where we cover all things Leo Printz Wiffleball, news, trades, games, predictions, everything. I'm the commissioner, Leo Mariello, and I'm joined with,
uh Gippies head coach Ayden Plaza.
the Gippies head coach here with us. Not the best team in the league right now, but they're looking to make a comeback.
Yeah, hopefully not a repeat of last year.
Yeah, that would be pretty brutal. Well, we have a lot to cover, so let's just get started. Let's talk about game one of last week. Printers Gippies. Let's get your opinion on this one, Aiden.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rough game for us. Our
Mm,
team wasn't
yeah,
very locked in, and we weren't doing very well. We lost what it was 18-3.
yeah, 18-3. I'd blame a lot of that on your pitching. It was pretty brutal.
Yeah, it was a little rough.
Well, I think the biggest part of the game, I mean, the Printers got some good hits, but I think both teams weren't performing like that good. Um, I mean, the Printers pitching is kind of what kept them alive, honestly. Their hitting was not great. They're getting walked a lot. Um,
Yeah,
but pitching, I think, wins games. So that's a big statement that can be said around the league to multiple teams right now.
yeah, I agree.
Best offensive player of that game. There wasn't many good plays, but Tino got a home run, so I'd say Tino. How about you?
Yeah, I have to go with Tino because what was it? He hit like one or two, right?
One or two, yeah, I can't remember the exact number. One or two though.
Yeah. He, Overall, he's like a good like player just all around for offensive like and defense.
Yeah, he's usually a bandit, but he ended up subbing onto the Printers because we had some players missing. But today we have games coming up, which we'll talk about later in the show. We should have a lot more people coming up, so that'll be good. So the second game, it was Bandits Astros. Going into that game, we all thought the Bandits were going to have it easy. Um, the Astros did not look good on paper, but they came out and they performed. What are your opinions on that game?
Yeah, that was a pretty good game. I was subbed in for the Astros because they were missing some players, but we did pretty good. It was me, Jagger, and Holden, and then later on Jaden came in the middle of the game.
Yeah, their head coach, Jaden Hernandez, actually came halfway through the game. Usually there's only 3 innings per game, but since he showed up so late and we didn't know he was even coming because he just got back from vacation literally like the hour before. We added a special fourth inning for him. So that just gave the Astros even more of a chance to get such a big lead. That game ended 21-8 for the Astros. That was a crazy game. Um,
Yeah, it
they
was
actually had hits. There's actually plays going on, not like the other game where it was just walk after walk after walk.
yeah, it was a good game. We were all pretty like locked in and just just doing good for the team.
Now the Bandits, I'd have to say, otherwise, not going to name drop here. Pitching performance not the best. Someone decided to sit in the outfield playing Geometry Dash. Not going to say who.
Literally sitting in a chair and playing Geometry Dash.
Yeah, David, I'm just going to call you out here. Lock in
It
for your
needs to
team.
be said.
They need you.
Yeah, you just kind of sat there.
Hall of Fame player. Probably doesn't even deserve it. But he was locked in last year. He was really good last year, but this year he can't seem to connect the dots.
Yeah, it's putting in not much effort.
Yeah, especially when his team needs him. You know, they have Tino kind of carrying the weight of that whole team right now, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, especially when he's not on when he's not batting and he's in the outfield, he's actually doing pretty good. I saw him catching a good amount of the balls coming out at him.
Yeah, the position where he's at, he's basically covering second and third base. Since David's just kind of like he's partially covering first, but not really. He's not really
Yeah.
covering anything. Um, but I think the player of that game, I think it's between a couple players. Honestly, I mean, let's see, Jagger, he was performing very well.
Yeah.
Um, Holden, he is usually a bandit, but he was subbed on to the Astros. He was actually playing against his own team, pitching.
Mhm. Yeah, they were both doing pretty good. Jagger got a lot of hits, and Holden was doing pretty good with the pitching. So,
I would honestly say Jagger, uh, player of the game. Who do you think's player of the game?
um, I would have to go. I'd actually have to go with Jagger too, because like he did good. He did really good with batting, and then he switched with Holden a couple times to pitch, and he was doing pretty good with pitching too.
Yeah, I agree. Jagger's a good all-around player. He just got off the injury reserve list. He was out for a long time, severe illness, but he just got cleared to play sports, and we're glad to have him back. And he's been a big help just in this one game we've had so far with the Astros. It's going to be a good season. So let's talk about the standings a little bit. So after week one, we have Printers up in top, 1-0 with a 15-run differential. The Astros in second, 1-0, 13-run differential. Bandits down in third, 0-1, negative 13 run differential. Gippies down in fourth, 0-1, negative 15 run differential. How are we feeling after this first week?
Yeah, after this first week, not the greatest. Uh, my team didn't do that well. Our pitching could have been way better. Um, and we also have a fourth grader on our team, so it doesn't help that the strike zone's taller than he is. And
Yeah, we might want to make a new one for him. I'll definitely work on that. Maybe I can probably just make like some shorter legs and then just switch out the legs. That'd be annoying though after every single time he gets up to the bat to like change the legs to the strike zone. Maybe I
I
might
say
just
just
build a
like
whole new strike zone.
I was gonna say just put like a little line on the
Ooh,
on the current one just to mark like
ooh,
the area it hits will count as out, but if it hits like above it, then it won't count as a
that is a
strike.
great idea. I think we're gonna definitely do that. When he gets here today, I'm gonna mark where his shoulder is on there so we have the right strike zone height.
Yeah.
Uh, and the actual it should then the bottom of it should still be the same. I got to look at how tall he was next to it, but that's actually a great idea.
I want to say it was like a couple inches taller than him.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. So
Yeah.
I mean, the standings. I mean, we're only one week in, but they're already taking shape, especially with this week's matchups, which we'll talk about. We'll go into a lot of depth there in a couple minutes. I mean, there's still plenty of games for like the Gippies and the Bandits to get back up there, give themselves a better position for playoffs.
Yeah, I like honestly, I think we're gonna do overall. I feel we're gonna do better than the Bandits because it's a lot of Tino just kind of carrying them right now, and
Yeah,
uh and David Francis just literally sitting out there and playing Geometry Dash.
yeah, and they have Sammy. At least he tries. He puts in all his effort. He
Yeah, he's doing his best.
Let's talk about playoffs. So number one seed plays number four seed, number two seed plays number three seed. So I think there's going to be some movement down in that bottom half. Like I think we're going to see the Bandits sneak down to fourth. I think by the end of the season we're going to have Printers in first, Astros second, Gippies third, Bandits fourth. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate for what it'll be. Um, I want to say for the Gippies and the Bandits, it might be interchangeable depending on how our teams do overall throughout the season. And I want to say same with the Astros and Printers because the Astros were actually doing pretty well last week.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think those positions are all interchangeable. We might even get to see Gippy sneak up all the way there to second if the Astros start selling, or maybe even the Printers start selling. Um, there's still a lot of left in the season, so we could see a lot of movement there. But we'll be covering that each week. Now let's get into this week. So we're filming this on Tuesday, June 30th. It should be releasing same day, and we have games tonight. Usually I play every Friday. It's supposed to be 103 degrees on Friday. Can't play in that. Made the
Yeah, I
games
think
this Tuesday.
yeah, I think it's a little hot to be playing out there. I will say, last summer we did have one really hot day. It was like high. I think it was high 90s maybe. It was somewhere in the
Mhm.
90s, but it was nice though because it rained that same day and we just had like a rain game and just kept playing anyway.
Yeah, that was super enjoyable.
Yeah.
Um, so our first game tonight, 5 p.m. Tune in on this channel here. Um, we have Printers Astros, the fight for the number one seed. This is going to be an electric game. Um, how do you think this game's going to play out?
You know, honestly, I think the printers will probably win, and I feel like I'm looking at like a close game, probably around like maybe like maybe like 16-13, somewhere in those double digits for both teams.
Yeah, I totally agree. Both teams are going to have to put up a good fight to pull out that win and the number one seed. It's our teams are going to have to, they're going to have to play some good baseball or wiffle ball. Sorry, same thing basically, but play some good base. I'm doing it again. Some good wiffle ball. Let's talk about the players to watch this game. I mean, we got to look out for some of the big players. I think Jagger, we got to look out for. He's going to be out there playing some good ball.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe watch out for Gabe. He's an underdog. Um, but we saw him in the scrimmage. You can go look under our live section of our channel, go to the LPW 2026 draft. Under that same live, we are playing a scrimmage. So if you want to go watch that, it was pretty fun. But I think we should look out for Gabe. He's an underdog, but he was getting some hits in the scrimmage. What are you thinking for the players of the game to watch?
Yeah, I have to agree with right now Jagger and Gabe. And then as Gabe, we also haven't seen too much of this actual season because he wasn't able to make it last week. Um and I want to say you as well because you do you do pretty well with your pitching usually.
I've I've worked pretty hard on getting my pitching skills up there. I used to pitch in a little league, and I could have made it probably the high school level if I didn't quit, but that's a past. Can't change it. But I'm glad that I'm at where I'm at now. Um, let's dive into our second game of tonight. Um, it is the Bandits versus the Gippies. This is another game that I think could possibly be close. Um, we have they're fighting for the third and fourth seed, and one team here is gonna walk out with 0 wins. And then in the other matchup, one team's gonna walk out with 2 wins. It's gonna be hard to whoever loses this game. It's gonna be hard to compete with that top seed.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard from there. Um, it's not looking the greatest for both teams, obviously, but honestly, I have a good feeling this week about my team winning. I think it'll be pretty close. I want to say around like maybe like 12-7, maybe.
Yeah, that's a great prediction. I'm taking the Gippies 100% here. I think if I had to put like a percentage on this, I'd say Gippies have I think like a 60% chance of winning. I'd give them a pretty good chance of winning. If David Francis actually does something, you'll have a harder fight up to go up against. But if their team plays like usual, they're gonna have Tino carrying them. They will have Holden on their team today, so that'll be another tough fight for you guys. But it's gonna be close, and you guys are gonna put up a fight.
Yeah, with Holden on pitcher, their team that help improve the team a little as well because he was doing pretty good with pitching last week. And hopefully Tino is bringing like his best again, like he was doing last week. He was doing pretty good, put up a good fight.
Yeah, and Tino even told me last week that he didn't felt he did his best, but if that's not his best, I want to see his best. I want to see him hit homers every at bat. That would just be electric. The Bandits would love that. Um, and I think Tino can carry the Bandits far. Maybe not this season, but because they have a big disadvantage having a player who does nothing.
Yeah, and at this point, we all know who he is.
Yes, we do. David Francis, if you're watching this, you are hard. You don't deserve your Hall of Fame spot. Maybe get it revoked.
Yeah, I think
If you're
he should
watching
have
this, bring in your Hall of Fame trophy. I'll take it away and give it to Ayden because he was
I
so
mean,
good last year.
yeah, definitely. I did do better than him
Definitely.
last week, though. I did better than him last week.
Oh yeah, last week he did way better. Uh, Last season though,
Wasn't
I
doing
think
that
David
well.
Francis. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, David Francis. David Francis won Finals MVP last year. Uh, yeah, well, the Printers and Gippies both automatically made the final because there's only two teams.
yeah,
But this year we actually have a playoff structure, which will be fun to follow and stay along with. So come on this channel to keep along with all that and tune into our games. We have 5 p.m. tonight, Printers Astros, 6:30 tonight, and it's Gippies. They're going to be some good games.
yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this first week of Behind the Strike Zone. Come back next Tuesday for the results of the games that we have today and predictions for next week and talk about the rankings and playoffs and everything like that. So make sure you follow at Leo Printz Wiffle on Instagram to see the standings come out after this game, the final scores, and any news around the league, any news about some big matchups coming up, anything like that. Go follow them. Tune into the live streams tonight. Ayden, any last words?
Shout out to Miles O'Hara for watching the streams.
Thank you, Miles. If you're watching this, you're a W guy.
You're one of our only viewers.
Well, thank you guys again for watching. Tune in next week, and we'll see you.